So now that you've come in, I've got to say hello to your adoring fans. Look at them all, Beans. Look at them all 4,000 of them. See this? All that lies before you is yours, Beans. I don't think he believes me. Oh, Mr. Snugglebottoms. That's what I should have called him. That was a burp purr. A burp? Burp? A perp. What's it? Hello and welcome to the Babbles Travelling Yarns podcast. This is episode 76 and I know that because I wrote show notes. So for any information about what I talk about in the podcast, you can find it down in the down bar. I've got links of all my projects and all the things I talk about. So do pop down there and click on any links if you're interested. I'm all about spreading the word about super cool, nice things around Ireland and the world. So yeah, if you want to get more information, it's just down there in the down bar, not on my lap. There's nothing on my lap, not even a tiny kitten. He should be, well, he's a big cat now. I'm like, just fall asleep on my lap again, you're so cute. Anyway, so I have a big coffee today to get us through this big podcast, because I've just come off a night shift. So it's about 12 o'clock in the day and I finish work at 8 o'clock this morning and I've not slept, so I'm a little bit, you know, that feeling, you know what I mean. So I've not introduced myself. That's very rude. This podcast may come across as drunk because that's generally how tiredness affects me. I act drunk / hungover. So that's fine. So I'm Grace. And who is Grace? Grace is an Irish girl living in Ireland. I'm obsessed with the fibre world. I'm obsessed with knitting, with spinning, weaving and demonstrating and talking about all the fibre crafts and wool in general, and also other fibres that you can make stuff out of. That's what I'm talking about today. So I'm based in Limerick. It is the something of August, in the teens, estimating like a 17 maybe. It's a Saturday. I'm very confused because on night shifts you have 2 dates that you've got to switch, and then when you say, are you working tonight, to somebody, they go, I go, if someone asks me that, are you working tonight, I'm like, well, I'm here, so yeah. But what they actually mean is the next night, because it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, so technically tonight is the next night. And it's like, what time travel sorcery is this? I can't manage my brain on nights. I can do my job. Anything extra, no. Which is why I brought a very simple project to work last night, which was great, and I managed to get it finished this morning. Yay! So I was watching Stargate, which is running out on Now TV. It finishes its run in September, the first week in September. So I'm like trying frantically to get through like 10 seasons, and then I don't know if I'm going to do Atlantis, and then Stargate Universe and all the movies. Well, anyway, so that's what I've been up to. That's my life. Hi, how are you? Oh, so the last podcast you would have seen would have been up in Belfast when I stayed with Bernie and Derek of Bear and Sheep's Clothing. We went up to Yarn Folk there. Oh, I just found yarn. I just realised I reorganised my wall and I've been looking for that, so that's good. Anyway, sorry. So the last podcast was the chats with Bernie from the Bear and Sheep's Clothing podcast. Oh, I love her so much. I need to cast on something of hers. I need to cast on everything. What am I talking about? Anyway, that is not what I am doing. I am holding off from casting off all the things because I know it'll give me massive anxiety and nervousness about it. And I've been going through a bit of a whip binge. This is very exciting for everybody because you get FOs, I get FOs, I get excuses to cast on more pretty things. it's all very exciting. So I do find it so satisfying when I feel a bit overwhelmed by my projects and my stash. I've been feeling a lot of stash overwhelm lately. I think I've coined the term. If you've been feeling your stash overwhelm, maybe we can work through it together and we can hashtag it and be hashtag friends. So yeah, so I'm going to talk about all of my a couple of my FOs. Yeah, baby, FOs. And a couple of my whips that I'm working down, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about some acquisitions that I got, which are so exciting, and a cal, or definitely one cal. Yeah, so that's what's going on today. Join me, have fun, so exciting. Here's a beans interlude. He's so fluffy. He's turning into like an old man and he's not even 1 yet. He's going to be 1 in October. Cute little baby. Okay, so what's on my list? Ah! Yay! My first, well, not my first finished object, but the finished object that I just finished today. So it's my Felici socks. Where's my, my sock blockers are packed away in all my yarn folk stuff. Aren't they so cute? So I got this yarn as part of a Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted thing that my beautiful friend Shamika sent me over, some self-striping yarn. It's so pretty. I love this colorway. It's beautiful, gorgeous, and just to make the self-striping a little bit more interesting, and sometimes the Felici, I've heard, now this is my first time ever working with Felici, but the transitions are a little bit subtle, and I noticed this when I was knitting past them, but yeah, so I wanted to bring out a little bit of contrast, so I just slipped every 4th stitch on the transition row when the color was changing. That was if I was paying attention and not going to the cinema and messing it up. I did miss one, and I had missed a couple back here, and I was like, I am not ripping out anymore. So who cares? You can't see it. Who's going to be looking at my feet that closely? I hope not you, because that's very weird. You know what is weird? Very weird. I only figured this out, but apparently I cast it on 2 separate different cuffs. I knit my socks 2 at a time. How did I do this? What? So one is a 3x1 and one is a 2x2. Explain yourself, past Grace. What's this business? Why didn't anybody spot this? I wasn't going to go back, so it's fine. They're fine. Actually, it's going to be quite an interesting little experiment, eh? Look at that. So the 2x2 pulls in a lot more than the 3x1, which I suppose makes sense, doesn't it? Ah, it's an experiment, not a mistake. Yeah, so when I was knitting with the Felici, I found it very soft, like really lovely and soft, but soft. And I don't really like soft on my feetsies, because then soft means wearing away, you know. So I got some Regia, white Regia, in my stash. I think I bought 2 balls. I think I bought 2 balls at some festival or something. And yeah, so it's always good to have your solid colours, and white always goes well with most things. I'm not so sure how this is going to go in like a nice shoe, which might rub off colour wise, but it's okay. I really thought that the white went really well with these light blues and greens. Yes, so it is a beautiful, beautiful colourway. I can't remember the name of the colorway. Oh yeah, I was knitting it in one of these knitting goddess bags. You don't have time to knit. I don't have time to listen to nonsense bags. I've knit my last couple of pairs of socks in this bag, and so it's quite nice. However, it's good for work, you know, because it's handy to kind of throw at them, be like, hey suckers, shut up, stop asking me how I have time to knit. But I do find that the zip is quite heavy, and it's just a canvas bag. It's very simple, it's very well made, it's very ethically made, but it's not great for, you know, if I fold it out this way then it's kind of okay, but the zip is very heavy on it, so it's very good for squishing into your purse and stuff because it scrunches into nothing. But not great for sitting down and knitting from it because stuff tends to get tangled in the zip and stuff like that. Just because, and I've also got a couple of things dangling off it, and I find that when things are dangling off it, stuff gets wrapped up. However, I do love this. This is Knitting I Love tag, and it's getting a bit fluffy now, but it's my socks tag, socks bag. So I'll see what I need to do. I might switch up a few bags and see if my next sock bag works a little bit better. So that's exciting. I'm going to hold off on casting on socks for now because I still have some socks to knit. So I'm not going to cast on a sock for a sock, if you know what I mean. I'm just going to cast off. It makes me feel good. So the next project that I have finished is quite exciting. Hey, where'd I put it? Oh, it's here. I hung it up for you guys. It is my double knit scarf. Oh, this is amazing. Okay. So this is a double knit scarf. So a double knit is when the fabric is the opposite on both sides. And who is the king of double knitting? Nathan, the sockmatician. He's the king of double knitting, and he is. I followed his tutorials for the whole thing, like how to get this lovely slip stitch side so it's black on one side and white on the other, and how to start with a lovely kind of black on white and black on one side and white on the other. How to start. Don't ask me how I did it. I just followed his video almost 2 years ago. That's bad. And then I followed. I didn't follow his video to the T on binding off because I couldn't figure out the Kitchener stitch that he was doing. I know it should have made sense, but I couldn't. I think it was because I didn't have all of the whites on one side and all of the blacks on one side, because I was trying to do a little motif up here and it didn't work. So I think it would have worked better if it was on one of these rows but I wanted a little bit of a frame for this, and then I was so done with this project that I just wanted to finish, so I just wanted to do that. So what I did instead was I put all of the back stitches on one needle and all of the front stitches on another needle, and then I just did a normal Kitchener all the way across, and it worked totes fine. And the great thing about double knitting is that if you don't do Nathan's little trick, it's actually two separate parts of knitting, two separate pieces of knitting. And I just put a little thing through it and got some thread, and it's now hanging behind James's office. So this is the dark side, but I only put like the Rebel Alliance on the whole thing. The whole thing is actually a project which is a scarf, and I've put the details down below about who made up the chart and who put it together. But I was not going to finish the whole scarf because I didn't have enough of the yarn. I bought it when I was in Australia, and also no. So this is Morris & Sons Estate 8 ply, and I got it in French navy and vanilla. So this is actually not black, it's like a really dark navy. And I picked out, we did certain types of the motifs from the pattern. So this is the Rebel sign. This is the lightsaber. This is tauntauns. These are my favorite. Or maybe this is my favorite. X-wing, got blasters, and then we picked up one final piece. I was like, James, I really can't I can't do a whole scarf in this. I'll do one more panel and then we'll have a wall hanging out of it. And he's like, cool. It's a drop. It's a drop. It's a drop. So there it is. Ha! Now, I'm just after realizing that the camera's going to flip, so this is going to look backwards. But it's okay, you guys. I got you. It's a drop! Now, to me, that looks backwards. It's a drop. It's a drop. It's a drop. So, isn't it beautiful? A wall hanging is better than something in a bag. In a shame bag. Does anyone else have those? Everyone has those. I know you have one. It's okay. Shame bags are fine. I love it. I love it so much. It looks super impressive on camera. That white like just goes white. So nice. So we're hanging it up now. So that is a finished object. My longest finished object. And I started pulling out my whips during an Instagram live that I did there during the week. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can. You can follow me as Vanawillemiel. And that's my main account. I am going to be changing the name eventually when I get around to it. But if you follow that one, that's the best one to go on because that's my personal one. But my personal one is mainly cats and knitting. And different places that I go for knitting and fibre because I'm obsessed. Yeah, so... I do some impromptu Instagram lives. I haven't figured out how IGTV works. I might fancy that. I don't know. It seems like a lot of more editing and in a different format. And I'm like, maybe, I don't know. Never say never. But IG Live's great. It's just handy, like just chat away and you can interact with people. And the story always goes in a really interesting... I never really have a story. I have like, oh, well, maybe I'll just start spinning and just chat to people and then we'll get talking about something else. And what happened with this one was that I was going through my stash. I just cleaned out all of my craft room and sorted everything out. And I was just feeling really overwhelmed and I just kind of wanted to chat to somebody. So I turned to Instagram. I was like, guys, help me. And it was lovely. It really gave me so much, I don't know, impetus to kind of just get going. And it wasn't anyone telling me just do it. It was just me talking out loud and then talking to people about their projects and their things. And I think I work when I think by talking. Talking is a very important part of my thought process, either talking to someone, myself, or writing it down. But I never really have time to write things down anymore. I don't seem to have the mental capacity to do that. Whatever. So that's how I managed to finish those two projects, was just picking them up and doing them after that IG Live. So thank you to everybody who joined me on that. That was so much fun. So my next project then that I picked up and finished, well, not really, it's a hoe. I've got a hoe. Let me show you my hoe. Where's my hoe? Have I lost it? Oh no, it's under there. So this is my hoe. It's in my Picky Cat Socks bag. These are my Sinister Cats from Marna of the Unkiting Bjug. She's the jeweler and a knitwear designer, and she's just knit an amazing colourwork yoke of these Sinister Cats. It's amazing. I think she might be looking for test knitters, or it'll be out soon. Either way, so good. So this is the Pesky Cat Socks. Pesky Cat Socks! Yay! And of course I got mine in blue and green because it's who I am. And I finished one! I should have really got my sock blockers. I don't have them. So this is what the little cat looks. These are not blocked either. I'm going to wait until the other one's done to block them because I really want to block them. I'm going to use that kind of impetus to kind of get me finished. So these are my little kitty cat. So when you wear shoes with the little Mary Jane, the little cat's going to be peeking. He could be looking at everybody, be like, what you doing? Yeah. So I love the sole as well. It's kind of like that traditional colourwork backing that they use for inside of mittens. So you have the nice pattern on the outside and then this kind of lovely repetitive pattern on the inside. And then a little heel. And then little cat faces. I managed to, so I finished this and then I was like, oh God, I've got to do the other one. Hey, the other one is fast, man. So man and woman, or men or women and people or everybody. Yeah, so here I am. Now, I have an issue. The heel is too small. Look at it. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but it was done across like 20 stitches instead of 25 stitches or 24 stitches. So if you see the little thing there is a lot narrower on this one. And the pattern, when I started doing the pattern, that's when I only figured it out. So I'm like, fudge. You know. So I'm gonna go back and do that again. Yes, but I'll get there. I'll I'll pick it up and I will do it. But I think my problem is from the heel. I think I'll try it on, and if it's not too bad, the heel, I think I'll just rejig the stitches and sort it out. I have these beautiful stitch markers. They're glow-in-the-dark rubbery stitch markers from Little Grey Girl that I got in at Woolen in May in Dublin, Dublin's Yarn Festival, and they're amazing. And I got them deliberately for knitting in the dark in the cinema. I don't know if they're going to be too distracting, but you know, I'm sorry, but that's the cutest little thing. So I've got these larger ones and I've got teensy tiny little sock ones. So nice. It's nice, isn't it? Yeah, so I might be kicked out of the cinema by James because he doesn't like me knitting in the cinema. He don't stop me. I think he enjoys not liking me I think he enjoys not liking it. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? This is where the drunk comes out. Where am I putting these? Do I have a system? Yes, apparently I do. More coffee. So, that was my socks. I've kind of been flying on those. Now, the weather has been really hot, and of course I was knitting on my massive Aran sweater for James during the hot weather, which makes total sense, you know. Oh God, get off. Okay, so this is James's sweater. It's not really moved that much since you've seen it last. I'm still going up the body. Okay, so let's talk some real talk. I tried it on him. It's very tight. He says it's fine. I was like, James, it's a corset. It's not supposed to be a corset. So I'm going to finish off the body. Then I'm going to steek the sides. See, I've got these sides here. And I am going to crochet and then cut them. And then pick up all the stitches and then knit sideways about a couple of inches, maybe 3 inch, maybe 2 inches either side, to give him 4 inches positive ease, because it's going to be a big cozy jumper, you know. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do with that. Once I get up to the sleeves, I'm going to keep it on stitch holders on waste yarn and do that, and then those 2 inches will be the space underneath the arms, perhaps, to do set-in sleeves or whatever I choose to do at that stage. But I just really need to get it to fit him. And there's no way in God's great earth that I will ever rip this out. Know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, I need to knit another maybe 3-4 inches, and then I'll be up under the arms, and then I can cut it and stick it. The things I do for love. So that is jumper for James. Now, I've got special news though, and it is in regard to the Epicalong, which started all of this nonsense about knitting for a very tall person, or a big thing, big project that seems a bit ridiculous. I've got some prizes for the Epicalong. So the Epicalong is a year-long knit-along that is open in my Ravelry group, and it's just down in the show notes if you want to see. There are so many beautiful finished objects there, and these are projects which have like the person knitting them has seen them to be really like taking a lot of time and effort, and some people are like, I'm struggling with this thing, and we're all like, you can do it, it's okay. So that's really nice. There's some stunning stuff in there. Stunning. There was a Find Your Fade in there by Aileen that is amazing. Her colors are so pretty. Oh my god. Love, love, love that fade. Yeah, so I've got some prizes for so I've decided that the finish date is Christmas Day, because just in case people are knitting something to give as a Christmas present to their loved one, so you still have plenty of time. So Christmas Day is the closing date, and I am going to pull for the winner the following week whenever I do a podcast over Christmas. And then I'll send out your prize in January, so you'll get a little January present just for yourself. Yeah, so this one parcel came through, and it's beautiful. Oh, do I still have the card? Oh, I do somewhere, but anyway, let's just show you what it is. These, so the lady from Flourish Fibres got in contact with me, okay? If you've not heard about Flourish Fibres, oh my goodness, beautiful. These are all naturally dyed, and after doing a naturally dyed workshop, where basically everyone just kind of got yellows, these colors are intense. Like, look at that pink and that purple. Oh, and those greens. I love those greens and the pink. It just, all of nature's colors seem to just go so well together. So this is gunmetal as well. This is Mahonia in gunmetal. So it's Flourish Fibres. Let me get up here. And this one is a set of 5 minis. It's about 100 grams in total, and it is Summer Posy. So Flourish Fibres, so beautiful. So this is for the giveaway. These are gonna go out to somebody. I'm just obsessed with people who can do natural dyeing, because oh my god. Do you know when someone is making something and you're like, I actually know how hard that is? Wow. Just wow. Like beyond me. So beautiful. Look at that beautiful purple and the pink. So Flourish Fibres, get on it. I think she's a UK, yes. Okay, so let me read on the back. Naturally dyed Thrive is the color, is the superwash merino 75-25 superwash merino nylon. It's so soft. Like really nice. 425 meters in 100 grams. Ooh, that's good. And hand dyed in the Cotswolds. For best results, hand wash, cool and dry flat. So in the Cotswolds. So pretty. The Cotswolds and the yarn. So thank you so much for sending this across for the Epicalong. If you would like to donate something for the Epicalong, please do contact me, and I'd love to put together loads of nice little packages for people, because really you deserve so much nice things for all the hard work that you're putting in. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh, speaking of all the hard work that I'm putting in, she also included something for me. This is her Gotland Grey, 100% Gotland, non-superwash, DK weight. Gotland. So Gotland has a kind of a grey sheen. I think it's a grey. I think it's a grey wool, very long wool, very curly, very soft. I put my hands into a bag of it at John Arbon when I was there, when I visited the mill. So soft. I think it was from Daughter of a Shepherd. I was just like, I just touched it. It's so soft. And just silky. And this is beautiful. It's really woolly wool. It has a softness to it. It's also super like woolly. It's a bit crisp, but it's not as it is so nice. Like, it has a little bit of a, oh yeah, it's there, but if you actually put it on your skin and keep it on your skin, the feeling disappears. Like, that's really nice. Words? It's beautiful. So this is a gift for Grace. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful. Oh, I've got a nice little selection of DK now, DK single skeins. And yeah, I'm kind of on a hat kick. I really want to knit a few hats. Isn't this like the perfect colour for me as well? How did you know? Thank you so much. So that is the beautiful parcel that arrived from Flourish Fibres for the Epicalong giveaway. So I have a couple of more parcels coming, winging their way across the world to me. I'm so lucky. Everyone wants to send me stuff. It's amazing. I am a big fan of people like you. Because it allows me to send out the beautiful things that you make out into the world, you know? Just so happy. So, yes, this is the Epicalong. I'm going to have to stick it. Blah. I am knitting it out of Curricular, or actually the Aran Sweater Market has a shop in Killarney. If anyone visits Ireland, Killarney is one of those places that you probably will end up going to if you're going to the Ring of Kerry. You kind of start in Killarney. You get to Killarney and then you do the Ring of Kerry and you end up in Killarney. Or Dingle or something like that. But Killarney you generally go through. If you're interested, go into the Aran Sweater Market shop, and at the back they've got a sale bit right at the back of the shop, and they have these massive hanks of wool. Now I've got the rest of the sweater just behind. That's the rest of the sweater. They come in these massive 200-gram hanks, and they cost €12.95. Oh, it's very high, sorry. €12.95 for 200 grams of Aran weight wool. I got 6 for James, 6 skeins. And let me show you how much it gets you, okay? Just, you know, if you're interested. So this much, right? This is my second ball. It's a lot. You get a lot out of these. I don't think I need 6. I think I'll get away with 5, definitely. You know, I'll get up to the under the arms, and I'll still have enough to start doing. I'll still have enough to start knitting down the sides with this. I think I'll probably manage to do the 2 sides and knit the body out of 2, and then the top will be 1, and then probably a sleeve. I might get 2 sleeves out of 1 ball. Like, that's maybe not, but you know what I mean. So yeah, incredible value. It is very crunchy, non-superwash, still has the grease on it. It is woolen spun. What else can I tell you? It's not 100% Irish. I can't guarantee that. What is the wool content? Just says 100% pure new wool. So, yes, but it is milled in Ireland. It's milled up in Donegal, in a studio in Kilcar, I believe. And yeah, so that's the Aran wool. Aran wool. And it's kind of a worsted. It's a worsted to a DK, I'd say. DK worsted, Aran. It's all a big meld of different whatever. Doesn't matter really. Check your gauge, knit a gauge swatch, and then you'll know exactly what to do with it. So James does a lot of travelling down in Kerry and Cork and Tipperary and all around Munster, and he just happened to be in Killarney, and he popped in and he bought me these 2 skeins. Isn't he so sweet? Ah, he's the cutest boy. So he's not helping me with my stash overwhelm, but now I really want to cast these on to make slippers. I might try like felting some slippers, because if it's not in superwash, it'll felt, I think. So I think I'm going to try to do that for winter. Cuddly snuggly winter. I'm really feeling cuddly snuggly winter. I think the weather's very changeable at the moment, which means that it's cold, windy, rainy, sunny, windy, sunny, windy, sunny, rainy, 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 windy, windy, sunny, rainy, blah. Just like, who knows? Who knows what it is? It's still quite warm though. Yeah, it's cold in this room, so that's why I put on this jumper to do the podcast, because I was a bit cold. So yeah, I'm not really feeling like I'm sick of summer. I feel like we got a lovely summer. We got a kind of a panicky summer where everything kind of went a bit mad and hot and we didn't really know what to do with it. And now it's back to our normal summer, which is just rain. So I feel back to normal really. But I'm still not used to the clothes situation. I need to get my head in gear. In Ireland, we were always taught that autumn started in August. August, September, October was autumn, and then November, January, November, December and January were winter, and then February, March and April were spring. So technically it feels like autumn to me, because the weather's changed and everyone's going back to school in a couple of weeks, you know, and things are happening. So it's nice. It's very nice. So yeah, so I'm kind of back into all the woolies really. So I'm working away on that, and we'll get that done eventually when I figure it out. So that's my 3. Oh no, I have one more width that I want to talk about. And I was talking about, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I've organized my retreat, my October retreat. All the tickets are sold. They sold out really fast. Guys, you're all ridiculous. Thank you. If you haven't got it this time, I will be doing another retreat in April. I haven't figured out the dates on that one. I need to maybe put up a little poll to see what would suit. I don't know whether I want to have it far away from Edinburgh or closer to Edinburgh, so people coming from afar can go to both, or keep it far enough away from Edinburgh so people have time to get a little bit of normal life in between another yarn event. So we'll see. Yeah, so I was talking to, I'm in talks with a number of, that sounds so formal. I just kind of got chatting to people online, Irish dyers, or people based in Ireland who are dyers, who would like to come up for my little market day that I have at the retreat, which is going to be on Saturday the 27th of October in Ballyglass House in Tipperary, just outside Tipperary town. If you're interested, it's a free event that you can attend, and you can buy some yarn. Yay! And so I've managed to get some really interesting dyers. I'm so excited. So one of them I was talking to on Instagram, and I was just so inspired to work with her wool, because it popped up on my feed that she was starting to dye on this organic, 100% organic, non-superwash merino base with natural dyes, and I was like, what? See, I'm just completely hooked on this natural dyeing business now. I can't do it, but I love it, you know. So this is the Moon and Sixpence, or she's the Sixpence Moon on Etsy, because the Moon Sixpence. But Annie, she's based down in Cork. She actually organised the West Cork Festival of Yarn back in May, or was it June? I think it was June, sorry. But she is coming to my little retreat. I'm so excited. And of course I instantly had to cast on with her beautiful wool. So this is her DK weight base, or DK base. Oh, I've managed to fudge this up. Oh, there's a story. So this is her DK weight base. It's so squidgy and soft. It's a 4-ply, I think. There are actually 4 plies, or maybe 5 plies. Can't figure it out. My eyes are too tired, which means it's super round and plump and perfect for cables. So it is dyed with avocados. She was telling me all about it. I was like, oh my god, wow. And it's so beautifully soft. So I cast on a hat. I cast on the antler toque. I had lessons from Laura about that. Thanks, Laura. Toque. It's spelled toque, but no, it's toque. Toque, as in full of a toque. Anyway, yeah, so I cast on, and I had actually knit maybe 3 or 4 repeats of the cable, and then I made a mistake. I realized I made a mistake. I had added in an extra stockinette round of the cable, and it looked wrong, and I was like, I'm gonna have to just rip back 1 repeat. And I took out the needles and I was ripping it back, and I was like, I'm just gonna try it on. Why not? It's tiny. I was like, shoot. So I ripped it out and started again. So I decided to knit with, I didn't have my small needles with me. So, you know, when you start a ribbing, we start off with the smallest needles to kind of give the ribbing a nice tight edge. I didn't have them, so I decided that I'm actually going to knit a double brim, turn it inside out, and that'll give it the same kind of like hold on the head. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to go onto the cable, and the cables looked so beautiful on Instagram. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. I might put in a picture here. See? So pretty. So yeah, I'm really enjoying working with this yarn. But I have a test knit that I need to cast on. So I don't know what I'm going to do. This is when the overwhelm comes at me. But yeah, I'll get there. It's fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, so I'm kind of attempting a twisted rib with this, just for the crack, like, I don't know, just for the crack. So all I want to do now is knit, because hats are so easy to just knit in the round. So this is a Chow Goo needle. I'm knitting it on a 4.5mm needle, US 7, so it says on here, no idea. And yeah, I just go round and round and round and round and round. So great. So that is the Moon and Sixpence yarn. She has a beautiful Etsy shop as well with some stunning yarn. I have some of her yarn over there. That's looking at me, wanting to be something majestic. I'll get there. We'll get there, won't we? We'll all get there. So that is all of my whips. I've got 2 more FOs that I forgot to show you guys. Okay, so, but they're not knitting. You'll forgive me, right? So I went to, actually when I was ripping out that hat, I went to a course up in Glore where we do our spinning get-togethers, and there was a basket weaving course. An amazing artist called Hannah Van Elst, who's based in Newport in County Tipperary, is a basket weaving teacher and artist, and she's amazing. She's so lovely. She's a lovely way of teaching, very gentle, very like so clear, you know, so clear. So I went up and went on a little tour of the gallery space that they have up there. The exhibition is on until the 1st of September. If you're interested, there's an amazing textile artist, a ceramicist, beautiful, beautiful ceramics and textile arts. And then Hannah's work, which is stunning. It's kind of all about growth and like the seed, the natural shape of seeds and pods and sprouts, and then cozy kind of womb-like shapes. Oh, it's just beautiful to look at, and the way the light shines through them. Oh, stunning. But if you are in Ennis, You should definitely pop into Galore, and the exhibition is free to attend, so I believe, and it's upstairs in the gallery upstairs. Absolutely beautiful. You should really pop in. So this is what I made. I made a Catalan plata. It's a little monkey over here. I love it. So Hannah actually grows all of the willow on her land, on like about an acre of land, and she grows the willow, and she was talking all about it. It was like really interesting, just like the life cycle of willow and what you need to do. You need to let it completely dry out, and then you need to soak it for a long time, I think. I can't remember now, but it's just, I just love this. I just absolutely love it. Basket weaving. So I'm definitely going to go back and go for a larger basket with a handle, like a rounded basket with a handle, so I can actually carry things to for display purposes, for demonstrations, and for carrying some of my yarns. Making my own basket. One of these days, when the apocalypse comes, I'm gonna be sorted. I can carry things and make things that carry things, you know? Also, look at this little special thing. It's just beautiful. Reminds me of like those rattan chairs, you know, we used to have in the conservatory. Just memories. And the different willow, the green and the kind of red. This looked really red when it was white, or when it was wet. But the green and the red just are different breeds, are different species of willow, and it's just lovely. And there was an option to cut it right down, so it was just a circle. But I love that, like, it's a little handle. You can actually hold it, you know. And I also loved the asymmetry of it. It kind of looks like a fish. Like a fish. I was gonna put it on the wall, and then I was like, oh, the dust will get everywhere. So actually I just have it on our table in the front room, and it holds the remotes elegantly. Because, you know, I made this. I'm gonna talk about it, right? Another thing I finished, which was weaving again, but more traditional weaving, which you might recognize. It was a piece that I finished, that I started up at Yarn Folk with my nettle fibre. Now, I am currently undergoing a nettle fibre experiment out at my mum's house, but I've been so busy this week that they might be in the water for too long now, and I'm scared to go out because it's going to smell. I've got my mask, I'll just go out and do it. I might do it tomorrow morning, yeah. Famous last words. But I finished weaving a little throw with the nettle fibre. So this is nettle fibre that I sourced from India, from a collective of women in India, in the southern Himalayas. And it's a cluster of women that actually work, they go out and collect the fibre, they ret it, and then they send it off to be processed in a government facility, and then it comes back and they hand spin it. So it comes in single ply, it's a single ply, and they come in hanks. And I'm not entirely sure what to kind of sell it as, and I'm like, I think just the product itself is so beautiful, and it's so lovely to touch and hold and maybe do something with. I had a lot of interest in it at Yarn Folk, actually. A lot of people were interested in it for, I think, just the fibre content and the story behind it, but also I had some fibre artists who were weavers or who wanted to use it as embroidery to actually applique it down. It's just a fantastic, like, different texture. So let me show you up close. It's got these little nubbly nips in it from the spinning process, you know. It's got quite a lot of vegetable matter still in it, which I love. Like, it just gives it such colour and depth of colour. And it's getting, like, it's squidging up. I haven't washed this yet. We actually just finished it, and then James was like, I was like, okay, I'm going to wash this now. And then James was like, no, it's a table runner. Just put it on the coffee table. And it looks beautiful on the coffee table. And you will have seen it in the front, in the first episode, in the first opening shot. It just is beautiful, and it suits the room so well because we've got these kind of dark brown couches, which I do want to get rid of. But this light piece just makes everything so nice. And I just love the rustic, hand-spun, hand-woven feeling of it. And the thought that these women actually spun it. It's just beautiful. I love it. I love the simplicity of it, the white colour. It was a really meditative kind of weave because there wasn't any colour, there was no distractions. It was just back and forth and back and forth. And it was just the feeling of the weaving. That was literally it. There was no colour distraction. It was just the woven. So the warp is a cotton. It's just a mercerized cotton. And look at this. This is really interesting. So it's been hanging on the edge, hanging over the coffee table. And it's done this little twist at the corners. And I think this is the weaving equivalent of a single spun yarn with a bit of active twist. I haven't, maybe it would stop with me blocking it, but look at that little curl, and it curls on the other side, the same. So it's like it wants to curl around in a circle. It's just really interesting. So yeah, I was thinking about running 2 of these balls together, winding them onto bobbins, and actually 2-plying them in the opposite direction. So I might get a balanced yarn out of that, and then seeing what I could do with that. I think that might be really interesting as well. That would obviously take a little bit more time and processing, which would add to the cost of the yarn. But I think it would be lovely. Hand spun by them, hand plied by me. And then it would make a more balanced yarn, and you could knit something that doesn't have that little curly twist to it. Oh, I love it. I actually love it. I haven't done anything to these ends. I do want to do a fringe twisting on them so they'll have like a nice edge that falls off the side. I think I do probably need to soak it and wash it and see how we go from there. But yeah, that's my yarns. So, I love it. I love the feeling of it as well. I don't know, it's cool. It's not warm, it's cool feeling. There is a little, like, you can feel it's a little bit rough, but this will actually act like linen. And when you wash it, it will soften up over time, definitely. Imagine making a cloak out of this. Like, that's what I've been kind of interested in a little bit at the moment, is kind of those kind of living history reenactment type things, because this is effectively the type of fabric that they would have got out of it. This is kind of like almost Hessian sack material, which then you would have used for bedding or, you know, linen or loads of different types of curtains. I was thinking about making this into curtains, but James was like, table runner. I was like, are we a table runner family? Okay, now we are. And it looks so cool. So I'm glad we are. Oh, cute. I'm so low. I don't know how this chair has done this, but sorry. Dropped. Now I've come up in the world. So that is that. So now I guess we're on to acquisitions, I think. So I already showed you the prize that came for the Epicalong. Thank you again. I want to speak a little bit about something very special that happened. So I've got this knit night that runs on the first Wednesday and the third Thursday of every month. And I've got this wonderful friend of mine, Rosemary, who is from Ohio, and she works in the shop inside in town. She works in the yarn shop inside in town, and she's lovely. She's a musician. She is a PhD student in UL. She's absolutely gorgeous. I love her to bits. And she went home to America for the summer, a couple of weeks, and she came back with some yarn with a story. Yarn with a story. Nothing else in there. Oh. What's this? Yes. Okay, great. Thank God, because I almost forgot what this was. So this is a very special yarn shop who apparently they watch my podcast. So this is Harps and Thistles Yarn Emporium. Cindy Michael, owner and yarn wrangler, and Sarah McKee, manager and junior wrangler. So, and they're based in Ohio in Cuyahoga Falls, 129 Portage Trail. So she comes from a family of like Scottish and Irish, hence the Harps and Thistles. I love their little logo too, so cute. Yeah, so it's a mother-daughter yarn store, and it's so cute. So the story of the yarn. So the mother-daughter, and then the daughter has a daughter, so like 3 generations, and the daughter actually dyes yarn. And I got some of her yarn. So the daughter, I think, oh, let me just get the little letter here. Oh, isn't she so cute? She just, a wax seal. Love it. Love a wax seal. I feel 50 times more special now. So, a bit of woolly goodness for you from my home state of Ohio. Yay! This skein was dyed by Maddie, the 11-year-old, maybe. She's maybe 11. Oh, she's so young. So apparently she, the family's Irish and Scottish, and the grandmother assured me that Maddie would be delighted for the yarn, that the yarn was travelling to Ireland to a fellow dyer. Ah! So Maddie actually, I'm not sure if it's Maddie or Matty, but Maddie. I'll say it the American way. Maddie. There we go. So Maddie dyes yarn to fund her school trips and her traveling adventures, which I completely agree with. And actually she, I think maybe a year or 2 ago, she raised enough yarn from her wool to actually come to Ireland on a school trip. How awesome is that? So that's Harps and Thistles. You must have a look. They have a Facebook page and a website, harpsandthistles.com, and Facebook page is Harps and Thistles. Thank you so much, Matty. If you ever watch this, I love this. I've got about 3 or 4 different skeins that this will go with. It's so soft. I think it's a non-superwash. It feels like heavy. Like, I'm not sure. That's a lot of yarn. So, but I'm thinking I might put it with, oh, and she also got me this beautiful needle gauge from Harps and Thistles. Rosemary, you're so good. I like this little inch thing down here. That's handy. So just 2 seconds, I'll show you. So these 2 are from Dynamics Yarns. Or Dynamics Yarns, who is an American dyer. Well, they're based in Florida. Canadian. There's a whole load of traveling in there, but it's Mars from Hey Brownberry and her daughter Adachi, I believe, and they are yarn dyers as well, and I have managed to get these. And then with Maddie's in the middle, best friends. Can't you feel it? Can't you feel the love? I love it. I love it so much. So thank you so much to Rosemary and Maddie and her parents and her grandparents. They're so, oh, look at that lovely purple through that. That's awesome. Little American yarn hug. Yarn from technically America yarn hug. Thank you so much. That was fabulous. That was such a special little thing. So I hope she does see this. It's so cute. And it came wrapped up in a beautiful green ribbon because Rosemary's got so much style. I love her so much. She's so cute. So that was so exciting, actually. That was the most exciting thing ever. So I must do a little Instagram post on that and try and tag them in that, because I think that's really special. And those kind of stories and yarn with that sort of story where it helps like a young person go traveling, which is the best education you can ever give your children if you can afford it. It is expensive though. But the fact that she has her own little business and she's earning her money by her craft and her art. You have very good parents, Maddie. That's what I'd say to that. It's not nice coffee. Okay, got it. It's not nice. But I'm doing it for you guys. Now, I've got one more thing I want to talk about. And this is just a pure, oh my God, oh my God, it's released, I have to get it. One of those moments. You know them. We all have them. So if you've been following Isolde, I love her so much. But she went private recently because she was getting a lot of hatred. Yeah. So obviously I had to support her. You know, I mean, I had to support her business because I believe in her and her political ideals and blah, 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 blah. And she was being bullied. So I had to buy this. It's not because I really wanted it so badly. But anyway, this is the Streak Planner 2019. It is out. So this book is developed by Martina Bem. I really want to say Martina Bem. I heard about it first on the Truly Myrtle podcast. Yes, Martina Bem. Yes, the knitwear designer. Strickmich. And it's originally in German, but it was translated into English last year, I believe. And Isolde had them last year. And I got it again this year. So I heard about it on Truly Myrtle's podcast last year, but I was too late to get it. So the second I saw it, I was like, oh, I have to support Isolde and buy it, you know. I was in the bathroom or something. I was like, hey, don't take my money. Oh, God. But it's beautiful. This book is gorgeous. So it is. I love a book. Books are the best. I actually am a bookbinder as well. Well, I used to be. Back in our college, I taught myself how to bind a book, and I just love a good, well-made book. I find a lot of, you know, pulp fiction-y books, they're just made the worst. They're just the worst. But this is beautiful. So you've got your year. Oh, you've got your measurements and conversions. You've got your time zones. Super handy for someone like me who deals in a lot of time zones. Not just traveling, but like on the virtual knit nights and stuff. It's really handy to know what time people are doing different things. So I've got my 2019 diary. I've got two very important things in here. I've got Edinburgh Yarn Festival. I just booked my accommodation, you guys. OMG, I'm going for 8 days. Jealous? I'm sorry, I don't mean to make you jealous, but so exciting! Yeah. Oh, we managed to get the same apartment as last year, so no, you can't have it. Ha! Ha! I was like, I saw it was free, and I was like, book it! I'm booking it! And I text James. I was like, oh, by the way, James, we're going to Edinburgh for 8 days next year, and he was like, cool. So he's actually coming for the first 4 days, and then Edinburgh Yarn Festival. He goes back, and I stay on for Edinburgh Yarn Festival, so he's not wandering around like a lost puppy. I think it's just safer for all of our sanity. But if anyone is interested, I'm organising another Edinburgh walk up Arthur's Seat. If anyone is interested, probably on the Wednesday before Edinburgh Yarn Festival starts. That sounds nice, and you're more than welcome to come. So if you're interested, you can have a look. I'll tag the video down below, and you can have a look at what that was like last year. And then what else is that? So that is, what date's Edinburgh Yarn Festival this year? Next year, 21st to the 24th of March. Now, June 14th to 16th is Woolen, which is the second year of the Yarn Festival that I went to, and I had a great time at, and I hope I'm going back. So yeah, so it's just really exciting putting in details for next year. So, and then you've got your goals for the year. Not going to show them all, but January is de-stash. I think I do need to do a big de-stash in January. I've never done one. February is chill, which probably won't be right. March is all EYF all the time. April is Babbles retreat. May is probably when the guild starts kicking off, and then June is Woolen. So I've got the first 6 months kind of planned out of like goals to have in my head for next year. So you've got these quarterly reviews every 3 months, so you can see how you're doing, you see how your projects are doing. And then in the back of the book, you've got loads of different ideas. So you've got your knitting, you've got your timeline, You've got more goals, timeline, knitting project overview, so you can keep track of your projects, and you've got 2 different bookmarks. I said it right. 2 different bookmarks, so you can pop one for the day and then one for whatever one you time to use. Your timeline, you've got knitting ideas, so you can pop in your pattern, your yarn, and your source and things like that. So things that you like, if you come across something and you're like, oh, that, yes, I got to keep track of that, you can write it in here. And there's a lot of it. You know, we get really interested in ideas. And then you've got your own little knitting project page, and you've got your weeks down here. How many weeks does it give you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, like a lot of time. Never enough for me. So now you've got your yarn wish list for the yarn purchases, which will be full up come March and June. That's good actually to keep an eye on it, because it's kind of ridiculous how much I spend. So yeah, and then fiber festivals, retreats, and knit nights. Ooh, little squares for maybe charts. You know, I tend to write out my charts sometimes if if the chart that's in the pattern doesn't really quite make sense, or if I'm making it up on the fly. So yeah, I can't wait for it to be 2019 already, so I can just use this. Can I just use this, please? I hope I do use this, because there's nothing worse than a dated diary that just stops being used after the first week. Anyway, it's a lovely, lovely little book. They also have a little pattern in it that you can knit your cover, which is cute. I've seen Aileen had, was it Aileen? I think it was Aileen had knit her cover, and she was showing pictures of it. I was like, so cute. And it would keep this lovely one clean. Very important. I think that's it. You know, I've had to split this a couple of times, so this is probably going to be a big one too. Oh well, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? So events that are coming up this weekend. Tomorrow I'm going to Craiganoan. We're going to do a spinning day, demonstration day, for anyone who wants to come along and have a go. You're more than welcome. Hopefully I'll have this up tonight, so you'll be able to see this before it comes out. So that's running from 12 until 4, I think. And yes, I know that is All Ireland final day for hurling, and Limerick's in the final, and one of the guys in the final is actually starting. He's a radiographer that works with us, so that's really nice. It's kind of very close to it. Well, he's a student radiographer. Hopefully he'll come and work for us, because he's lovely. He's such a nice guy, really hard working. Obviously if you're in the All Ireland final, you're going to be hard working. It's good for the CV. So yeah, that's me. I'm also heading to the Cork Craft Festival on the 1st of September. There's also another event that I was going to go to, but there's just too many things to do. But if you want to follow the Guild on Facebook, or pop over to the Guild website, I've got a blog post up there detailing all the events in the next couple of weeks, or in August and September at the Guild, and you'll have to have a look and see if there's anything close to you, because I'm constantly adding to it and changing it. And if you have anything that you want to see on there, send me a message. pro@weavespindye.ie, or on any of my other channels, and I'll be able to add it to the list and get a little bit of exposure out there for you, and hopefully we can get more spinners in the world. I saw a few more people from like different parts of the country that I've not heard of before, and I was like, it's so exciting. So yeah, great. I'm gonna go. I know I've forgotten everything. What can you do? Not much. So I will see you later. Bye. Thanks for putting up with the tired podcast. It wasn't too bad. It was probably really entertaining. I'm going to watch it now. Let's find out. Bye!